Hello friends, welcome to the Knowledge Club Online. Now I am going to discuss about the inheritance and probability. This is the most important part in the genetics for the calculation of probability. The chance that an event will occur in the future is called the event's probability. Mendelian inheritance reflects a rule of probability. Mendel's laws of segregation and independent assortment reflect the same laws of probability that apply to tossing coins or rolling dice. The probability scale ranges from 0, an event of which no chance of occurring, to 1, an event that is certain to occur. For example, if you flip a coin, the probability is 0.5 or 50% that the head side will be showing when it lands. The probability depends on the number of possible outcomes. In this case, there are two possible outcomes, head and tail, which are equally likely. This allows us to predict that there is a 50% chance that a coin flip will produce head. The general formula for the probability is equals to number of turns an event occur by total number of events. Then the Mendel's laws, segregation and independent assortments reflect the same laws of probability that apply to tossing coins or rolling dice. A probability calculation allows us to predict the likelihood that an event will occur in the future. The accuracy of this prediction, however, depends to a great event on the size of the sample. Now, there are two basic laws of probability. They are used to genetic analysis. The first law, the multiplicative law, the productive rule of probability, states that the chance of two or more independent events occurring together is the product of the probability of the events occurring separately. Independent events are events whose outcomes do not influence one another. This is also known as the AND rule. The product rule can be used to predict the probability of independent events that occur in a particular order. In this case, the female eggs and male spawns are crossing. The purple flower and white flower, the PP, the progeny of the pink flower and white flower. The calculation of probability shows that the offspring of the sperm and egg crossing. The big P sperm is the half, the egg is half. When multiplying is this, then it turns to 1/4. When in the homozygous condition, small p, both are two half and turns to apply the multiplication, it turns to the 1/4. But in the heterozygous condition, it also half in nature and multiplied turns to 1/4 condition. But when it's combined, because of two heterozygous condition, we know the 1:2:1 is the genotypic ratio in the Mendelian's law, that the two heterozygous condition create the 1/4 plus 1/4 is equals to half. Now, the chance that two or more independent events will occur together probability that two coins tossed at the same time will land heads up. Half into half is equals to 1/4. Here also probability of PP and PP turns to small p, the homozygous condition. The 1/4, half into half is equals to 1/4. When this rule is multiplied, the use rules of multiplication to predict crosses. First, what is the probability in this case? This is also a 1/4. When it will be multiplied, it turns to 1/16. This means the homozygous YR is turns to 1/16 probability chance. When we apply the multiple alleles in this case, what is the probability? In this case, the half, 1/4, 1, half, 1, and F, 1/4. And what is the combined probability of this? The 1/64th. It means in the 64th condition, this will be produced in 1. The second law is the additive rule, sum rule of probability. It states that the probability that one of two or more mutually exclusive events will occur is equal to the sum of the individual probabilities of the events. This is also known as the either-or rule. The sum rule can be used to predict the occurrence of mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events are events in which the occurrence of one possibility excludes the occurrence of the other possibilities. The example: chance that an event can occur two or more defined ways. Some of the separate probabilities probably of BB plus BB, B half, egg half, then 1/4. This is also half, 1/4. But it's when additive, and it's produced the half. The conditional probability. What is the likelihood that one outcome will occur given a particular condition? Answer: probability PC, the conditional probability. In the F2 of Mendel's monohybrid cross between tall and dwarf plants, what is the probability that a tall plant is heterozygous? Condition: consider only fall F2 plants. Question: of any F2 tall plants, that is the probability of it being heterozygous? The consider two probabilities: the outcome of interest and the condition that includes the outcome. The example: in the F2 of Mendel's monohybrid cross between tall and dwarf plants, what is the probability that a tall plant is heterozygous? The probability an F2 plant is heterozygous, PA is equals to half. Probability of the condition being tall, PB is equals to 3/4. Then the PC is equals to PA by PB. Half by 3/4, it turns to the 2/3 of the condition. It means the dwarf plant The dwarf plant, that is the probability that a tall plant is heterozygous, is 2/3 probability. Genetic counseling, what is the probability that an unaffected sibling of a brother or sister expressing a recessive disorder is a carrier, a heterozygote? PA is equals to probability that unaffected sibling is a heterozygote, half. The PB, probability that a sibling is unaffected, 3/4. Then PA by PB is equals to 2/3. Now, next is the binomial theorem. The binomial expansion can be used to predict the probability of an unordered combination of events. For example, let us consider a cross between two heterozygous tall pea plants. After cross, we want to know what is the probability that 2 out of 5 plants will be dwarf. In this case, we are not concerned with the order in which the offspring are produced. Instead, we are only concerned with the final numbers of dwarf and tall offspring. To solve this type of problems, the binomial expansions equation can be used. The equation is P is equals to n colon by x colon n minus x colon p to the power x p to the power n minus x. The P is equals to the probability that the unordered number of events will occur. N is equals to total number of events. X is equals to number of events in one category, that is dwarf plant. P is equals to individual probability of X. Q is equals to individual probability of other category, that is tall plants. The symbol colon as in a n colon is called factorial. As in n factorial, and is the product of all integers from n down to 1. For example, 5 factorial is equals to 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. The generalized formula is when n is equals to total number of events. For our example 1, what is the probability that in a family of 4 children, 2 will be male and 2 will be female? N is equals to 4. Sorry, S here is x and t means n minus x. Then S is equals to 2. The t is equals to 2. That means the A is equals to half, B is equals to half. What is the probability? Probability after the calculation, it's the 3/8. Then what is the probability that in a family of 4 children, 2 will be male or 2 will be female? The P 116 first, then 116, then 116. All are 116. Then sum of the family probability is equals to 3/8. The next example, when one of two outcomes is possible during each of a succession of trials, A plus B to the power n is equals to 1, where A and B are probabilities of two possible outcomes and n is equals to hash of trials. What is the probability that in a family of 4 children, 2 will be male and 2 will be female? Let is A is equals to P male is equals to half, B is equals to P female is equals to half, n is equals to 4. Then A plus B to the power 4 equation is equals to A to the power 4 plus 4A to the power 3B plus 6A to the power A square B square plus 4AB cube plus B 4. The numerical coefficients are determining using Pascal's triangle. A and B each occur twice, so use P is equals to 6A square B square is equals to 6 in this condition, also calculated by the 3A. Now, what is the probability that in a family of 4 children, 3 are male and 1 is female? then A is equals to P male is equals to half, B P female is equals to half, N is equals to. Then put in the equation A plus B to the power 4 is equals to, the P will be 1/4. Confirm that you get the same answer using the general formula. The statistics and chi-square. How do you know if your data fits your hypothesis? 3:1, 9:3, 3:1, etc. For example, suppose you get the following data in a monohybrid cross, phenotype A and A. The data, the 760, the 240, expected, the 750, 240, 250, 3:1. The total, 1000 and 1000. Is the difference between your data and the expected ratio due to chance deviation, or is it significant? 2 points about chance deviation. Outcomes of segregation, independent assortment and fertilization, like coin tossing, are subject to random fluctuations. As the sample size increases, the average deviation from the expected fraction or ratio should decrease. Therefore, a larger sample size reduces the impact of chance deviation on the final outcome. The null hypothesis. The assumption that the data will fit a given ratio, such as 3:1, is the null hypothesis. It assumes that there is no real difference between the measured values and the predicted values. Use statistical analysis to evaluate the validity of the null hypothesis. If rejected, the deviation from the expected is not due to chance alone, and you must re-examine your assumptions. If failed to be rejected, then observed deviations can be attributed to chance. Process of using chi-square analysis to test goodness of fit. Establish a null hypothesis 1:1, 3:1, etc. Plug data into the chi-square formula. Determine if null hypothesis is either rejected or not rejected. If rejected, propose an alternate hypothesis. Chi-square analysis factors in deviation from expected results and sample size to give measure of goodness of fit of the data. That is the formula of the chi-square. X square is equals to summation of O minus E square by E, where O is equals to observed value of a given category, E is equals to expected value of a given category, and sigma is the sum of calculated values for each category of the ratio. Once a chi-square is determined, it is converted to a probability value using the degrees of freedom. Df is equals to n minus 1, where n is equals to number of different categories for the outcome. When the phenotype capital A expected 750, the observed 760, the phenotype A small a expected 250 and observed 240, and total 1000. The null hypothesis data fit a 3:1 ratio. Degrees of freedom is equals to number of categories minus 1 is equals to 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. The chi-square is equals to summation of O minus E whole square by E is equals to 760 minus 750 whole square by 750 plus 240 minus 250 whole square by 250. Then chi-square is equals to 0.53. In this, this is the chi-square table and graph. P will be the less than, greater than the 0.5, less than the 0.5 and greater than the 0.2. Then the interpretation of probability, the P, the 0.05 is a commonly accepted cutoff point. The P, when P greater than 0.05 means that the probability is greater than 5% that the observed deviation is due to chance alone. Therefore, the null hypothesis is not rejected. When the P less than 0.05 means that the probability is less than 5% that the observed deviation is due to the chance alone. Therefore, null hypothesis is rejected. reassesses the assumptions or propose a new hypothesis. Chi-square less than 3.84 means that we accept the null hypothesis 3:1 ratio. In our example, p is equals to 0.48, p greater than 0.05 means that we accept the null hypothesis 3:1 ratio. This means we expect the data to vary from expectations this much or more 48% of the time. Conversely, 52% of the repeats would show less deviation as a result of chance than initially observed. This lecture may be helpful to you. Thank you.